Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Ryan the Mighty Quinn here on the Cornerman MMA. Sporting my pinstripes. Yankees are crushing it right now. Aaron Judge just hit his 60th home run. Wow, what a season. Wow, what a season. Actually, I got this. I got an autograph relic card. It's a game-used bat in his signature. You can't see from the glare. I got that after my retirement fight as a little treat to myself, and I saw that it's selling for quite a bit more on eBay right now, so I'm going to be checking that out. But I figure we do a little follow-up video with our project, trying to get educated on the scoring criteria for mixed martial arts, the unified rules that are in place. I've been learning a lot. I've been having so much fun with it, debating it, coming up with my own opinions, just seeing what's new, seeing fights in a new way. I know a lot of other people are as well. My man Diego, that's been following all the time. Thank you, man. Got to give you a shout out. You watch all my videos. Mike Perry, my man, since living back in New Fairfield. Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy you guys appreciate this stuff. So, but as far as we've come with this, there's still more. There's so much more to do. Now, part of the thing I realize now, I was real proud and real happy that Commission leads Mike Mazulli and Andy Foster came on here. I had a phone call conversation with Jeff Mullen. I understood his predicament, why he couldn't get on. I was turned down by some people. Whatever, that's all right. I see why they turned it down now. Some of these people really don't understand the scoring. But then I had Big John McCarthy on, someone who's reffed several of my fights I've kept in touch with on and off since my career. And I had to eat some crow. I thought I had it all down pat, and I didn't. Whether it was via somebody else's opinion or just me coming up formulating my own opinion incorrect. That's flawed. But it was very interesting. So we're going to break down what we learned from the commissioners, and we're going to break down what we learned from John McCarthy. Now, we're going to start with the commissioners. We had them on first. Andy Foster was real big. This is a damage game. We're focused on damage. He doesn't like, it's his opinion, and he stated that he doesn't like seeing wrestlers just ride people out to a victory. He understands that's not in the rules. Everyone has an opinion, and that's the other thing I was so happy with these commissioners came on, and they gave their opinion. We're human. I love it. But he was focused on the damage, the impact/damage, dominance duration. And same with Mike Mazulli, with damage first. It's a fight. We want to see the damage first. Now, one thing that I found interesting between Mike and Andy was that, Mike respected the ground. He respected the grappling and submission attempts. That shouldn't be taken away from a fighter. I thought that was great. They disagree, but they work it out. It's just an opinion. Whatever. I wish that in baseball that they don't get rid of the shift. That's my opinion. I'm not going to stop watching baseball or play by the rules. Well, I don't play professional baseball, but but again, they weren't like. And then another text I had with Mike that I talked about was a takedown that was landed. It was a graceful slam takedown, but there was no control landed, and the opponent that got slammed did show. And he goes, oh, well, in theory, that doesn't really get scored because there was no damage, duration, or dominance present. Okay, I get that according to the scoring. Now, but that's what they were focusing on. It was through from what they were saying to what Mike was saying or John was saying. It looks like they're going through different lens looking at this fight. Now, let's go to Big John. He actually broke down. And I'm going to read the part. I've read the damage duration dominant stuff over and over again. I'm not going to read that today. You can go back and see previous videos where I broke that down. I'm going to go over the piece of the judging criteria that John went over, which is right at the top, actually. Section A, C. We're going to go right there. We're not going to go to Tanana. So, judges shall evaluate mixed martial arts techniques such as effective striking/grappling. It's effective striking/grappling and/or. Plan A, effective aggressiveness. Okay, this is the first tier of tiebreaker. So as John was saying, and John was in the unified rules meeting way back when. Um, that tiebreaker stuff with the damage, duration, dominance, that's later. That's after the fact to decide more tiebreakers in 10-8 rounds. We're going to judge it off of the effective martial arts techniques we've seen prior before we get to that. That's within this. So we're going in reverse of what I thought. So, all right, we'll start at the beginning. Judges shall evaluate mixed martial arts techniques such as effective striking / grappling, and then after the striking / grappling, if that's a tiebreaker, if there was equal amount of strikes / grappling, whatever you're picturing right now, just keep that in your mind. If there was a tie, if there was a draw in the round and not the fight in the round in that aspect, then we're going to go to effective aggressiveness. And as you said, effective aggressiveness, it's not just who's coming forward, it's who effectively is trying to finish the fight. So if you have a counter striker who's circling or backpedaling but landing power shots, that's effective aggressiveness because they're landing the damage. Now we're bringing in to what Mazulli and Foster and the way they interpret it. Now, who's landing the damage in that aggressive aspect, in that martial arts aspect, okay? And then B, in control of the fighting area. So that's the cage control that Andy Foster said that doesn't exist. But anyway, and then plan B and C are not taken into consideration unless plan A is weighed as being even. Okay, so another thing, we're going to focus on, let's say that there was 4 minutes of boxing exchanges in a round, and then there was 1 minute of grappling, which nothing really happened. We're gonna focus. The judges are trained to focus more on what happened with the striking aspects. Okay, that's what this is per John, and that makes sense. So what happened within that realm? It's not that you throw away that last fight, that last minute. It's just this round was dictated by the striking. So then within that, what damage was landed within that main martial arts technique being exhibited, being displayed, being portrayed. Okay, so that makes sense. So was there a lot of damage being scored by one opponent? Aggressiveness being scored by that one opponent within the boxing, within that 4 minutes, the striking, kickboxing, whatever. That person, we get that round. Okay, that totally makes sense, and it does. It's funny. A lot of I was thinking a lot with this too. Like, it's almost like I thought the fights were scored one way before I started doing this, and then I spoke with the commissions. I was like, oh, okay, I was kind of right. And then now after speaking with John, it turns out I was only kind of right again, but it was more like what I originally thought. When I first started going over MMA scoring, to me, I would just write down what everything is scored as for every martial arts style, takedowns, advantages, striking, boxing, but whatever I thought, and I would just write it down. And that person gets the round, which is it's not really that. It's more like what Joe Rogan was saying. But so where are we at now? So the reason why this is I'm going to focus on what John was going over going forward because it sounds like that's a little bit more translative, and you work the damage, duration, and dominance within the martial arts techniques being displayed in that aspect. So here's the issue, though, that I think, I know a lot of the times it's head commission leads that represent them at the rules meeting and stuff, and that's great. That's fantastic. But if they're so far apart, even if like we could be here, even if they're just here, we're still very far apart on what we're deciding the scoring criteria is, whether one person's right or one person's wrong. I'm leaning towards John a little bit from what our conversation says because I after rereading it, that makes sense within that. Now, but if this is why people need to listen to people like John, people like the interviews that I'm having on here, and just really take in what, by people I mean, I don't necessarily mean the fans. I mean the fighters and fight camps. They need to know what game they're playing. We need to know what game they're playing, and it's not necessarily what opinion John or Andy, Mike have, Jeff Mullen. It's what the judges are looking for. It sounds like Big John's more on par with what the judges are looking for. He was in those meetings. He put the unified rules together. And that is where the disconnect is. We need to see what the judges are looking for. This is why I wish a judge was more exposed. I understand, though. You got to protect the judges. They can't go on social media. I totally get it. You can't fry your colleague in this. Totally get it. But I do wish that they were at that rules meeting to explain what they're looking for. I really think that that's going to solve so many issues with this. And I think that's going to be the answer to go forward. just look at what I went through with this, just to get an explanation from people. It's should be a little easier. We're getting there, and we are getting there. Mike was very cool. I'm so happy that I'm proud that Mike was able to put that criteria scoring pamphlet together for his events at Mohegan. So I think we're heading in the right direction with that. But yeah, I think that that's part of the issue is we're still, if there's such a big disconnect up here, how are we supposed to know what it is down here and in here when we're the ones fighting? So the ABC is working really hard to get that connection. They've shown multiple times. I think them having the fighters on board, by ABC I mean like the Mike Mazullis, the Andy Fosters, and like so hopefully some more ironing out will be done. We're gonna rake out those coals and iron it out. But yeah, I think that's what's going on. I really hope that people watch that interview with Mike, with Mike too, with Big John. It really talks about the scoring, talks about how we need to defend judges as well. They're a victim of their own success, like the Mariano Rivera's. When you only hear about them when they do bad. So I mean, they do right so many times. And Mike Mazulli and Andy said too, and it has one thing they agreed on too is that judging has come so far, and it has. It really has. It really has. I think that fans, they think that they're insiders when they complain about a judge. Shut up. Just watch the fight. Leave that to us. But that's what I got, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. We got more videos coming out later. And tune in. Bye.